now there's another story coming out of this game, and it is the special whistle, or lack thereof, that A'ja Wilson is getting. And this isn't the...
When the reigning MVP starts acting more like a sore loser than a leader, it's clear the pressure's getting to her. Las Vegas Aces star Aliyah Wilson hit the breaking point during a tense showdown with the rising Indiana Fever, letting her frustration spill over into a cheap shot on rookie standout Aliyah Boston, a moment that's now sparking serious conversation across the WNBA.
It was so egregious, man. I just wanted to point it out. I had to point it out, dog. There was no way, all right, that you can't tell me that the A'ja Wilson whistle isn't a thing. This specific moment, right, where Aliyah Boston was backing down, trying to put the ball back up, and A'ja Wilson gets a jump ball after wrapping her arms clearly around from the back.
To make matters worse for Wilson, her Las Vegas Aces are spiraling while the Fever continue to climb despite missing their injured star, Caitlin Clark. The contrast is glaring. Wilson's outburst didn't just draw attention, it pulled the curtain back. Her frustration is now front and center. Her team is slipping, and the storyline of the 2025 season is shifting fast.
But the Aces looking a little long in the tooth there in Vegas. That team, that core, just kind of sputtering at this point in time, slow-footed, and that's where I thought that the Fever could take advantage of the Aces, and they did. And Indiana moved quickly. They moved with purpose. They get another big game from Kelsey Mitchell in this one, who continues to just prove that she is a baller, a hooper, and a bona fide.
The Indiana Fever have had the Las Vegas Aces number lately, a sentence that would have sounded laughable just a year ago. But on July 3rd, the Fever didn't just beat the defending champs, they dismantled them, 81-54, ending a brutal 16-game losing streak to Las Vegas. And make no mistake, this wasn't some lucky break.
Wilson was just throwing the ball at the basket and hoping for the best, but she locked down A'ja Wilson today. She completely outplayed A'ja Wilson. I don't care what the box score says. She completely outplayed A'ja Wilson. And if she just made a couple of those bunnies, this wouldn't have been a close.
3 weeks later, on July 24th, Indiana did it again, beating Las Vegas 80-70 and securing the season series 2-1, all without their injured star, Caitlin Clark. Each time, Aliyah Wilson came up short in dragging the Aces to a win. She dropped 29 in the first blowout loss, doing everything she could, but it wasn't enough. Her teammates shot a miserable 16%, and not a single one cracked more than 6 points.
A Fever without Caitlin Clark go up against the Las Vegas Aces and last year's MVP, A'ja Wilson, and walk away with a W, 80-70. That player right there, Natasha Howard, she came alive in the third quarter, dropping 11 points in the third quarter, giving us the lead, a 27-point third quarter without Caitlin Clark. Who would have thought this team can score over 20 points in a quarter without Caitlin?
Wilson has shown visible frustration arguing with refs after whistles, throwing sarcastic laughs when calls didn't go her way, and acting like the main character in a drama only she was starring in. She protested nearly every bit of contact, but none of it mattered. The result stayed the same. The Aces kept losing.
The WNBA referees look at A'ja Wilson literally mugging somebody, literally reenacting the now infamous Coldplay concert hug heard around the world that had 9 million memes made about it over the last week, when she's literally remaking that on the court by just mugging Aliyah Boston. Oh, shit. Them WNBA referees turn into Ray Charles. They swallow their damn whistle.
If you're enjoying this, don't forget to subscribe. It's easy to see why Wilson's on edge. Since being drafted in 2018, she's led Las Vegas to 2 championships and helped build one of the WNBA's most dominant dynasties. So a flat 0.500 record isn't just disappointing, it's jarring. After their latest loss to Indiana, the Aces sat at 12-12, trailing the Fever's 13-12 mark in the standings. That's right, Indiana, a team that hadn't seen the playoffs in years before last season, is now ahead of Las Vegas. Wilson is clearly fed up with her team's lackluster form, and as her frustration builds, it's starting to show in some not-so-pretty ways on the court.
A'ja was terrible. Like, absolutely terrible. I don't care that she had 20 points. The fakest 20 points ever. She was terrible. She was absolutely terrible.
The flashpoint came during the July 24th matchup, and it was impossible to miss. Early in the second quarter, Fever center Aliyah Boston posted up and battled for position against Aliyah Wilson. As Boston tried to make her move toward the basket, Wilson came in from behind and locked up her arms. For nearly 10 seconds, the two wrestled in the paint before a whistle finally blew. But instead of calling a foul, the referee bizarrely ruled it a jump ball. Boston was furious. She turned to the official and protested, "She came from my back." Even the TV commentator voiced disbelief. When you get someone from the back, it doesn't usually get you a jump ball. In plain terms, it looked like Wilson had clearly fouled Boston and got away with it. The smirk on Wilson's face after the no call said it all. Like she knew the refs had just handed her a gift.
Listen, she gets the left hand on the ball, right? Slaps down, get her hand on the ball. Okay, cool. Still got it. Now, right here, watch this right hand now. Look at this right hand, y'all. Right hand grabs her. Okay? Right hand grabs her. She knows she cheating. Look, she's smiling. She knows she cheated, y'all.
Fever fans were outraged by the sequence and quickly took to social media to vent. Many pointed out that Aliyah Wilson seems to benefit from favorable whistles far too often, especially against Indiana. One fan noted that this wasn't an isolated incident. In fact, it had already happened before. Back on July 4th, during another Fever Aces matchup, Wilson came over Lexi Hull's back as she tried to secure the ball. And just like the Boston play, officials bafflingly called it a jump ball instead of a foul. Deja vu absolutely, and Fever fans have had enough. They're calling it the Aliyah Wilson whistle, and it's fueling a broader conversation about officiating inconsistencies across the WNBA. Even Fever head coach Stephanie White has publicly criticized the lack of consistency in calls this season. To add another twist, rewind to the team's first meeting in June when Wilson accused Aliyah Boston of flopping. Cameras caught her barking, "That's all you do," after Boston's reaction drew a foul on her back then. Wilson painted Boston as the one selling contact. But fast forward a month, and it's Wilson who's coming from behind, wrapping up Boston to stop a basket. The roles reversed. The dirty play came from Aliyah, not Aliyah. And this time, everyone saw it.
Now, let somebody even breathe on A'ja Wilson. I can't whistle. You get the point. I mean, they're hitting a buzzer. The pressure luck buzzer. The whammy starts coming out. All right, the whammies start coming out. Because A'ja Wilson going to free throw line. She going to the free throw line. That's all there is.
Aliyah Wilson's rough tactics are now under the national spotlight, and it's not a flattering look for the two-time MVP. While the Fever had the last laugh by winning the game, the controversy surrounding Wilson's physical play overshadowed the final score. And it didn't stop there. Just one night later, on July 25th against Minnesota, her frustration flared again. Early in the first quarter, while battling for position with Lynx All-Star Kayla McBride, the two got briefly tangled, then Wilson shoved McBride with both hands, sending her crashing to the floor. McBride hit the hardwood hard, yet Wilson was hit with only a common foul. No flagrant, no ejection, leaving Minnesota fans stunned. While there didn't seem to be any bad blood between them beforehand, that shove might have sparked one. Wilson is starting to earn a reputation for these physical outbursts, and opposing teams are taking notice. Now, league officials and referees are feeling the heat too. The question is no longer if Wilson's behavior will be addressed, but when.
Smiling at it. Look. Just a granted. Look at this. What in the world's going on, man? Wrapping around her, hugging her. She knows she cheating, look. And getting away with murder, bro. Diabolical work. Look at this. Hugging her. She is hugging her, fam. Oh my goodness. What? Hey, Ref. At this point, man, she need to take her out to dinner, man. Take her out to dinner at this point, Ref. What's going on?
Indiana's leader has never been one to hide her emotions, and that includes Caitlin Clark, even while sidelined. Lost in all the drama surrounding Aliyah Wilson and the Aces is the fact that the Fever have been pulling off these wins without the league's most electrifying rookie. Clark has missed several games due to a left groin injury, forced to watch the action from the bench. But even off the court, Her fire is unmistakable. During a recent Fever win over Connecticut, Clark had to be physically restrained after a heated exchange with referee Mike Price. With 4:33 left in the third quarter and officials reviewing an out-of-bounds call, Clark, clearly limping, was seen jawing at Price as she made her way to the bench. Assistant coach Brienne January had to step in and pull her away. Still, Clark wasn't done. Seconds later, she was back at it, shouting across the court, "That's just rude. Grow up. Come here. Come here." Unbelievable. It was a raw, unfiltered moment that showed exactly what the Fever are missing on the court while she recovers. Rookie or not, Caitlin Clark is already the emotional center and heartbeat of this franchise.
Uh-oh. Wonder what he said. Oh! She was about to run over there.
I'm not a good lip reader.
What did he say?
I got it, but I don't want to read card 99.
Huh.
She said basically, "Are you kidding me?" to Michael Price, and that was Breon January, who is
She said, "That's just rude. Grow
9
up."
years in Indiana
Oh!
on the staff.
Oh my
It's a
goodness.
live shot now of Caitlin Clark.
What's the issue? What happened?
He's still upset and wants an explanation
Ooh.
from Michael Price.
She's gonna be calling him. He's like,
In her debut season, Caitlin Clark did what few thought possible. She dragged Indiana out of the league's basement and into the playoffs for the first time since 2016. She shattered expectations for a franchise long considered a doormat, leading the Fever in points, assists, and steals while displaying poise far beyond her years. As one season recap put it, most players would have crumbled under the weight of the hype. Clark didn't. She blocked out the noise and played her way into the conversation as the league's best point guard, yes, even as a rookie. The Caitlin Clark effect was real, with Indiana smashing attendance records and fans packing arenas just to watch her. She's not just a star, she's a franchise-altering force, the kind of player who instantly raises a team's ceiling. Now, knowing all that, imagine how it must feel for Aliyah Wilson, once the face of dominance in the WNBA, watching that spotlight shift, and watching her aces fall behind Clark's Fever in the standings.
Eyesight for the Fever to see was this from Cece hopping off the bench. You don't want to read too much into it, but it's something, right? Obviously, she gets a little frustrated with the officials, and Stephanie White was frustrated with the officials in this game as well. But you see Caitlin hop right to her feet there with no hesitation. Right up. That, again, you can be injured and that can happen, but not moving too gingerly there on the sideline was Caitlin Clark, which is another positive.
Just a year ago, Aliyah Wilson was the league MVP, hoisting her third championship trophy with a star-studded Aces squad. At the same time, Caitlin Clark was just entering the league, transforming a lottery-bound Fever team into a playoff contender through sheer willpower. Fast forward to now, Clark is sidelined, yet her Fever are still finding ways to win, toppling powerhouses like New York and Las Vegas without her on the floor. Wilson, meanwhile, no longer has the cushion of multiple all-star teammates firing on all cylinders, and the weight of carrying the Aces is starting to show. Her frustration has boiled over in the form of shouting at refs, borderline dirty plays, and constant emotional outbursts. It's a sharp contrast in leadership. Clark's fire ignites her team, even from the sidelines. Wilson's fury, on the other hand, seems to be pulling hers apart.
Leah Boston's like, come on now. Let me just run it. She's mad as hell. I don't blame her. I don't blame her. Look at this. Look at this. What are we doing? Referees, where are the officials? Where? Then comes the loving embrace. Where are the officials? Look at that. Look at Asia's face. She knows the referees are going to give her the whistle. She knows it. Look at that. Yeah, look at it. Look.